Woohoo! And WB to building the dream. I'm gonna start here in the test world where I finally figured this out. So I've been working on low gravity as a dream gimmick for a while, and the other day I was watching a video by Simply Sark, and he mentioned the levitation potion effect, and that works perfectly for this. So I'm going to show you what I had here. I was testing out using repeating command blocks to run a teleport command so that it would just lift you up a little bit and it wouldn't be too much to overcome gravity, so it would just make you fall slower. I was testing to see if a player was on the ground using the tags that entities have, but it turns out you can't modify players like you can modify other entities. So that was the biggest problem, and that was the setback that I had. I got it to work on that was an animal, it was a sheep, but I couldn't. Oh yeah, and then setting the no gravity tag, that would have been the easiest thing, because then I could turn that on and off, and then that's exactly what I was looking for. And you can actually bad example. Not that one, not that one. Was it that one? This one. So you can, there we go. You can turn the gravity off on any entity actually, but you can't do it with the player. And it has the weird potion effects because it has that no gravity tag change, I think. There's not actually any potion on it, and that's a weird functionality, but you can see it's not following, obviously. So I've been trying to get this working on the player for a long time, and this is my solution finally. So it works with the scoreboard there, you can see it on the right, and it tests for a player with a minimum score of 0, and this is going to change in the 1.13 update. I'm going to have to go redo all of the things, but minimum score of 0 and maximum score of 1. So it's very small window of opportunity for this potion effect of levitation, and it's infinite levitation at the first level. Then afterward, it clears it if they have a minimum score of 1 and a maximum score of 2. So the next step up. And I realize that overlaps, but this is working. So yeah, it resets it, and then right after that it adds 1 to their score, and then it tests to see if they have a score minimum of 2, and if so, it resets it. So it just cycles between 1 and 0 and gives the effect to the player. And so you can see it's a little bouncy as you walk around. I think if I'm going to add this to one of the dreams, that is actually fine, because the players, it's fun to play around. You float down and you can jump extra gaps, but you can still walk around and move just fine. I can still crouch, I'm still on the ground. It's just lifting me up a little bit, and it only really has a big effect if you're in the air. So this grass is what I think the maximum that you can get in vanilla. You can jump across 4 blocks if you're sprinting, but I've actually been able to get over through here, yeah, by this float mechanic. So you can jump farther, but the biggest problem after this is your fall damage is not affected. It's not like jump boost where it negates your fall damage. You fall slower, but you still, oh, that was the baseline, that was only 3 blocks, but you still take the same amount of damage. And that, it seems weird to me, because if I was on the moon, I would be able to jump higher and I would fall slower, but that's a kink that I have to work out as I keep going. But see, fall down slow, and I still take all that hearts of damage. And I was playing around with some other ones, 2 ticks on, or 2 scoreboard on and 1 off, that means you bounce a little bit more, but you float a little slower. So I don't think it was that one I tested on, and jumps do become a problem. I just missed that. Not because my skills are bad, but because you're in the air some of the time and you're not connected to the ground. Wow, yeah, check that out. So you miss that opportunity if you press the spacebar or whatever you use to jump. And then I tried 8 on and 4 off, which was just 4 times this, but it's extended a little bit more. And so you see I can press the jump button. I'm just sitting on the ground, but if I press it at the wrong time, I don't actually jump. And so I'm probably gonna stick with the 1-to-1. And the thing about this, it was doubled, so you have this more noticeable effect, but it doesn't actually change how far you go. So I was working on it again, seeing if I can change the times up so you'd have more on and less off, but wrong game mode. I decided instead that since you can change this and you can get levitation at different levels, it will actually lift you up faster. So you can see this is more jittery, but if I can jump, you float a lot slower. And again, oh yeah, and it makes walking up stairs weird, but I will still take the same amount of fall damage. This is 2 hearts, I think. And I can sit out here in the air and I can move around and make huge distance jumps, but you still take, that was a bad example, I wasn't even in survival mode. But anyway, you take those still same calculated hearts of fall damage. And I was thinking maybe oscillating jump boost on and off, but that would still affect how high you jump, which was the point of the low gravity. You jump higher and you float slower. So I'm not exactly sure what to do about that. But another thing that I was playing around with over here, this reminds me of the functionality of a fan. It's just a single command block. It effect in an area of radius 2 gives levitation 6 for 1 second. And if you're turning this on, I added slime block so you don't die on the way back. It's just enough that it pushes you up. And so I can make this jump over here. Whoop. It's even better if you ramp this up to 100. Nope, that was the wrong key. 100. Because then you go just sure way to kill someone from fall damage. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to show you some other stuff I built already in the map and might use this in the future. Okay, that might have been a lot to take in. I'll go over some stuff. So first of all, I've been working on the electric temple, and I'll show you that in a second. All of the shell is finished, and almost all of the rooms are finished, but still a bunch of decorating needs to be done. But here, in the first intersection, you can see that I've added like a counter, a table. Oh, sorry for that interruption. I got a phone call. So anyway, you come up to this counter and you see this strange creature, and this is the line where I'm going to do some command block testing, and he's going to talk to you when you cross this. Say like, hello. I haven't actually decided what he's going to say. Anyway, there's all of these little areas on this pillar that he's sitting on, and that have item frames in it. So when you get here, maybe it's a good idea to start at the electric temple, but when you get here, you're going to have an item, and he's going to instruct you to place it in this location, and I'm going to do some more command block testing so that I can detect it, and then that's where I'm going to have the chapter transition from chapter 0 to chapter 1. And let's go here, and then let's go up so that we can go from the tent. So here you can see it in the distance. Here's the trap linker, and in that montage you could see the whole thing when the lightning struck the top up there, but I'm going to do a little flyby. And I like the way that this has turned out. There are a lot of paths that go everywhere. I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but I want this building itself to be compatible with a battle minigame, like capture the flag or sudden deathmatch or anything. And so there's all these hiding places and crisscrossing paths and one-way paths like that. You can jump off the edge, but there's no stairway back up. And all of these things in the edges of the roof where you can run and jump in between them. That one over the hallway, that one in between too. And that's just the theme that I've been keeping to, so that it feels fun to be in. And it's totally empty still. I haven't added any spawners. There's not really any chests with items. It's empty. They're just husks. So just rooms and stuff. But I feel like the building itself is good. And I think this is the only location that I haven't finished. So yeah, ignore that. Then I haven't wandered through these halls since I fixed this up, but you can get anywhere from anywhere else. There's stairs, there's all the things. So this is what I want to show you. Up here at the top, you come across this chasm, which again I still need to fix and make that a little bit more treacherous and interesting. But you come up these stairs, and you can see that up there, especially with the end crystal. Hopefully you can see it, and that's a lightning point along with the two pillars. And so it directs your attention up there. You can see it's at the top, and it has some interesting stuff. You should go there. And all of the paths that are inside of the building give you an opportunity to get up here. And there's three main ways to get up here. There's a staircase in this building. There's one around the outside, so you can walk through here. And then there's a bridge across the top if you end up on tops of buildings. So there's plenty of ways to get here. And once you do, you can see the chest in the middle covered over with glass, and this is what holds your relics. So let's go see what's in it. Oh, it's not actually stopped. But anyway, you get a key, and I'm not sure how many to put in here. This is kind of like the CTM part, where if you get to the wool, there's a whole bunch of wool, so in case you die on the way back, it's not game over. But I don't know how many I should put in here. But along with that is going to be, I guess I should go back to the spawn to show you below. Spawn workstation. So this is what will actually be in the chest. Timepiece. This is the artifact that you get from this dream, the first one that you find, and this is what you'll turn into the thing in intersection 1, and that's what you'll put in this item frame to activate the chapter transition. And that's when you can check out my inventory, and I'm gonna swap. That's when, actually I just stepped on it, that's when this will happen. It'll give you your other inventory, which is currently empty because it's the first chapter, and then it'll teleport you from 0 to 1, which will be the town, which I have not finished yet, and I haven't even started yet. So that's probably what I'm going to do next, because it makes sense to work on that next. But it's getting closer to the point where I can start asking other members of the community, people that I know. I can put it on like the forums to request dreams, contained stories, other smaller adventures within the adventure, and I can easily implement those, because when you're going into a dream, you don't remember everything where you came from. You start over. It's whatever your mind makes it up to be. So that can be anything. And I have a book where I've been actually recording my own dreams for the past couple of years, and that's really where this map started, because I wanted to use that. That seemed like a cool idea for me, and that gimmick is going to be the core of this map. So this guy, after all the dreams, you will end up back here. I'm probably going to have some teleport pads so I don't actually have to connect them. This is bugging me. Night vision 1 million at level 0 and no levels. Okay. Anyway, some teleport pads. So at the end of the dream state, you'll see some sort of travel anchor, not like the one out there, but maybe a smaller version of this guy, and he allows you passage back to here, and I'll likely line the walls. And I'm going to put another door here, and I don't think I'm going to have anything behind it. Maybe I'll crack it open as one of the teleports, same way as the one out there. But that's how this is going, and I'll be back when I have something else. Alright, I'm running out of time, but I finished that hole in the downstairs of the electric desert. So I added a couple rooms and some staircase, and this is the area outside. You can actually get in from this region as well. And I like having the rooms where you can enter and exit at basically as many points as possible. So there's this balcony that comes up the stairs and around, and you can look into the room. Layers, it's all about layers. And you can also come down this stairs and run through the room. I'm going to keep dead ends to a minimum here. And you'll have other rooms that will be dead ends. There has to be. Well, there doesn't have to be, but still. And I made this library over here, and I'm going to put this map on the top of the stairs when 1.13 comes out. I'm not really using the snapshots to build this map because they're not always reliable, so I'll wait until the release, but I am going to use that version. And I just put an armor stand holding a feather in this pot, so it looks kind of like an inkwell, and it's cool. So that'll be on the desk in the library, and that means that every dead end or open end is closed. And there's still the matter of all these open areas. There's a lot of wasted space in this place, but I'm gonna fill them all in, and then we'll have these isolated rooms, and that should be about it. Next is decorating and putting in spawners where it's needed. I will probably at this point utilize the difficulty on these. You see at the right, I'm gonna go back scoreboard. The difficulty at the right, you see it's at a 0, and that's the easy setting, and then there's a 1 and a 2, which is hard or medium and hard. That's what you set at the very beginning. I want to use that. I don't want it to just be your difficulty here, which I think I will use. It will be easy, medium, hard. It'll also change the difficulty. I should do that. But I want to have the areas change based on that difficulty. So this is going to be more difficult if you're on hard difficulty. So perhaps when you enter this area, it will delete some of the spawners, maybe replace them with other things, and I'm going to use it, to say the least. But that's all the time I have for today. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.